So, got all the front suspension laid in place. I'm gonna go ahead and order a couple of new tie rod ends just as well while we got it all apart. So now I'm gonna move on to the back. I got a few trailing arms and stuff I gotta put in. I gotta put new bushings in the back, so I'll get at that now. I guess the first step will be to take this cover, move that aside. This is a freshly rebuilt Differential 373 gears. Looks to be a pretty tidy job, so hopefully that's problem free. Gotta get all this cellophane off before I can do anything with it. And where it's just me working here in the garage, it can be a bit harder here because I gotta try and handle the whole axle myself. So see how it goes. I might have to get somebody to come over and give me a hand. Might be alright. Looks like brand new axle seals already installed. That's good. Whew. Don't you love the smell of gear oil? I don't know why I didn't use this knife. Probably because it's dull. It's fine. Or not. Who knows? Now, would you look at that? Nice, pretty, brand new gear set. I'll bring you in closer now and let you have a look at it. As you can see, they got a nice contact patch already shimmed out. And look at that nice posi diff. This is definitely going to help this car put the power to the ground. So enough of that now. I'll get this hung up in the car and we'll get the axles and stuff put into, I guess. So I'll grab some hardware here now, I guess. Get things moving. So I'm going to go as far as saying now that this arm is going to have to go here. So get some stuff out of my way. Get to it. One thing that Hot Shiz could have done better with this kit is give us some instructions, because well, I just don't know. Alright, so according to Hot Shiz, they want us to just put a bit of this grease on the faces of the bushings. I guess that's to prevent it from squeaking against the frame rails. Well, that certainly makes sense to me. So I'll get one of these bolts, slide one of these washers on. It says to have grease nipples down and the sway-bar mounting holes towards the back. So I'll get this bolt just laid in place. You gotta go into the frame rail, which makes it a little contrary to do. Now you let go. Of course, the grease will drop right on a piece of paper. Dry that into there like that. One. My washer nut on that one. I'll just lay that on finger tape for now. So this is all new to me. I never even took this car apart. The last time I worked on a classic car, I was in college, I guess. So it's a bit of a learning curve for sure. But it's something that I've always had an interest in, so being interested in it, I guess, makes it a little easier. Couldn't imagine doing it if I didn't like what I was doing. Now, I'm going to adjust that ear on the frame just a touch so that it don't beat up the bushing while I install it. And by adjust I mean hammer on it. But just gently, of course. Test fit that. Perfect. Now I can just sneak that bolt through there like that. Get in there. Just like that. That washer there. Oh yeah, that's much better. So got those two arms on there. Now the upper adjustable arms, I got to put bushings in the differential, but I think for now I'm just gonna leave it on without it because that sounds like a whole lot of trouble. And I'd like to have the differential fixed anyway, so I'll adjust the camera here now and try to set the diff up on this. Alright, so got the hardware here. Now I just gotta try and manhandle this axle around a bit. That's definitely gonna be the hardest part of this endeavor. Alright, so I got those rotated in a way that I can get near to it. I still got to move it all over a bit, so over there. Get one side on. Should be a lot easier then. So clearly this isn't going to play nice. If I can get one side in, I think I'll be able to manage after that. So get that up there. Help me understand. My mistake. This could have been about 150 times easier. I'm putting these in backwards. Go ahead and switch these around really quick. now that that's done, I can articulate this arm a whole lot easier to get it where it needs to be. So, yeah, put the articulation joint in the front. Because with that where that needs to be now, I can pretty easily just slip this right into place. That one. So now I'll flip this up to where probably should be. Oh, and I'll switch the other arm around while I'm at it. Get one in there. Alright. So now I gotta mess around trying to get that other arm in place. Where this has the 12-bolt rear end close on those bushings, there's not enough clearance to be able to fit this full ring. So Hotchkiss tells you to shave off a good bit of it so it can fit in. So I'd done the other one before I started filming to install. So you can watch me do this one too. Alright, so I got the new bushings for here in the freezer, and I don't have a press here to be able to press these in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the outside of this to expand this a bit. And quickly rub a little bit of grease in there. Maybe I'll find some penetrating oil or something just to give it a quick shot, and then I should be able to just tap the bushing in from this side. Now on the 12 bolts, you gotta shave down the side of the bushing. The sleeve, the spacer, you slip in here, so. Alright, so I'll get the heating. This is gonna have to be painted again anyway, because the scratches and everything everywhere on it from shipping, I guess. So I don't feel too bad about melting the paint here. As long as the bushing gets in, that's the most important bit. Getting warm pretty quick. So turn this like this just to keep the heat going if I can. I'll just move quickly now and run over and grab the bushing and put it in. So now I should be able to just tap that in place. Readdress this. Got that right out of there. Almost. That much more to go. Maybe I'll use a block of wood and a bigger hammer. Oh, that's working good. Not doing any damage, so I'll continue with that, I guess. Slow and steady. Well, that's all nice and cool now, so I can take this bushing down. Just tap that one right back to where it belongs. Just like that. Now, I guess I can put a little squirt of grease over the face of that bushing, just for good luck. Just like that. Same thing over here. Last thing I want is suspension being squeaky. well, I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll just jack it all up at the once and try to get that down. Now I get to try and see if I can get this up into place. I assume it's going to be every bit of a nightmare. Ooh, maybe that might be a good spot. I'll just do it this way. Alright, so as you can imagine, this isn't just gonna fall in place. Get this up as high as I can. Now, I did forget to put grease on this one, so do that now too. Get that up there. Yeah, nice smear of grease. Not too interested in squeaky suspension. That's pretty close. So, that's very close. Can I get this other one in close like this too? Oops. See if I can persuade him to like that. Oh. Anything there? Perfect. So there, where they want to be. There. Oh, like I said before, I like to leave all that loose so that I can still get full range of movement. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Alright, so I'll get the springs and shocks now. Lay them in place. Alright, so I got all my hardware and my springs and everything all set up here, ready to go. When you're putting in coil springs, see how these coils are closer together? This is a progressive rate spring. If you have it so that one side has coils closer than the other, always put the closer side on the bottom. It's kind of just like a rule of thumb sort of thing, but it's a practice that I've done ever since I've been at this. So, goals for these bolts are a little bit smaller. I feel like the factory bolts are probably a bit smaller than a 3/8. But they fit the new shocks, and bigger and stronger is better. So I'll just thread these down like that. And I'll tighten down the bolt, it'll pull the rest of the way. That way it's sat in right nice and tight. So do that to both sides. So that's there. See if I can't sneak this spring up in place. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to drop this diff a whole lot more. Well, that's not very good. It's already drooped as far as it'll go. So just like that. All right. I still got this side left. I gotta put a nut and bolt on. So I'll take this shock then, and I'll goes up there like that. Again, I'll tighten all this down when I get the suspension together, because I don't like torquing things down that aren't ready to be torqued down. Put the nut and washer on here. It's this side. Get that first. Now, I got to fight this pressure. Yeah. There we go. Nice. I get the shock for this side. Probably not a good practice to use your chin to hold the bolt in place, but when you only got two hands, what are you supposed to do? On there. Now the shaft is held in place, so I can use my hands exclusively for this nut and bolt. Same thing. There. Now that's a nice looking suspension setup. Well, now that I got all this laid together, I'm just going to go around and tighten up all the hardware. It's about a good 50 hours just tightening up nuts and bolts. So I'll have to that and use it back and watch, I guess. See me taking my knuckles off on this ring gear. That's what happens, that's what happens. So that's it, guys. Got the Hotchkiss suspension all installed. I still gotta hook up the sway bars and all that, but I think I might leave those for now until I get the holes repaired in the chassis up front, the mounting holes. And I think I'm gonna have to make sure the park brake cables and gas lines and all that go in before the sway bars. They're pretty easy to install, so that might be one of those last minute sitting on the ground sort of things. Alright, take care.